Today is a day that is very special to the American people. It's a day when a guy can't ride his horse no more. It's a day when a guy can't walk anymore. But he served his country to the best of his ability over the years. And the American Legion here in Pawhuska has been trying to keep our community alive with what we do to help our community. We have Sons of the Legionnaires. We have Legion Riders in our soldiers. And we're doing real good. We don't look like it. We kind of look raggedy, and we're kind of old and crippled up. But that's the way things go. But when we come out here, we came out here Saturday and we put flags out from one end to the other with the Boy Scouts and our riders and our Sons of the Legionnaires. And we put together a color guard. And we opened the ceremony at the fairgrounds for the relays. And we're going to close the ceremony this afternoon, approximately 3 o'clock, if we don't have an Oklahoma hurricane. But used to be, we had a dinner after this right here in town. But during the pandemic, the world changed. Nothing became normal anymore. We had to follow what was going on. And so that's where we're at now. We'll have our colors and taps here. Then we're going to go to St. John's Cemetery out here south of town. Pay tribute there to all of the veterans in that cemetery. And then we're going to go to Gray Horse, Oklahoma, where this reign of terror has all been going on here in Pawhuska for the last, I don't know how many months. But we're going over there to pay tribute to their veterans in Gray Horse Cemetery. And it's way out on the reservation. And hopefully we can get out there and get back without getting stuck in the mud. But on the bright side of it, this guy come walking up just now, and I said, don't come up here unless you want to talk. So I'm going to bring to you Brett Jones, and he's going to have a word to say. Thank you.
I think I know just about everybody here, and I got up here a couple of years ago and gave my opinion on things in general, and I guess they needed something that somebody to say something, and there are some things about Pawhuska that I would like to share for those of you that may not know these. There's two things about Pawhuska in regards to warriors, and our very derivation of Pawhuska was from warriors, the Osages, and even the name Pawhuska, which means white hair, and a lot of people don't know exactly where that term came from. And back after the Revolutionary War, Washington dispatched a general by the name of Sinclair and about a force of about 1,000 soldiers and followers and logisticians to engage a confederation of Indians in the Midwest. And during that engagement, they let their guard down. They hadn't found any Indians, and the next morning they got all but wiped out. 28 were only ones weren't killed. And during that engagement, one of the Osages, which they had a contingent of Osages there, attacked and engaged one of the American officers and thought he'd dealt him a mortal blow. So when he grabbed him by the head to raise him up, his hair came off. And the guy woke up and jumped and ran off. And the Osage was totally befuddled, and he looked at that and he goes, man, this must have some powerful medicine. So he kept that white hair, which was a wig, and passed it down generations. And I believe it was a little Pawhuska, a little Whitehair, was the chief at the time when they came to Pawhuska from Kansas. But that was the beginning of Pawhuska, and we've had warriors ever since, and all of us know, and our family members who have fought in wars. Another story that people don't understand, that General Tinker, an Osage, 8th Osage, born and raised in the Osage, went to school in Eglin and Homney and Pawhuska, graduated at Haskell University, went into the Army Air Corps, and became the first American Indian general, and was also the first general killed in war, in World War II. And he is not buried there. He was actually assigned by the general, I believe it was Hap Arnold, who was the commander of the Army Air Force at the time, was sent to Hawaii after Pearl Harbor. It was obviously a problem down there. They were a little disorganized. They didn't call them the Pineapple Air Force for no good reason. And so he went down, and Hap Arnold sent him down because he knew he could get down there and straighten it out, and he did. He got them lined out, but he was not one of the generals who leads from the desk. He would frequently go out and fly I believe the B-26 Liberator. That was not a particularly stable airplane. It was very unstable and killed a lot of people. Battle of Midway, I believe June 6th, 42. He was commander of the Hawaiian Air Forces, and the next day, in pursuit of the retreating, defeated Japanese Navy, he was on a flight of 4 B-26 Liberators in search of the Japanese fleet. He allowed a captain who was notorious for pushing the envelope of that airplane, flying it just at the very limits, which were pretty narrow. He allowed him to fly that airplane, and during the flight, the rest of the flight commanders in the other airplanes made several comments that he was flying too slow. What he was doing was trying to lean out his flight so he could get more range out of it. Unfortunately, his last scene, descending into the clouds, probably had departed the airplane and basically disappeared in the clouds, was never heard from again. That was the end of General Clarence Tinker, who, again, became a famous Pawhuska. Tinker Air Force Base is named after him. I could go on a lot of different people from Pawhuska who were good warriors, and I understand there's certain limits to how much I can say, so I'll leave it at that, and just know that we are here for a reason. God bless our troops. Say a prayer for them, and I'll turn it back to you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
You know, in every community, in every state, in all your nations across the United States, you have people, and some people are called warriors, some people are called heroes. And most of the people that I served with, I'm not a hero, but the people I served with were heroes. They never come home like I did. I came home in pieces. And I'm doing all right now, but I'm losing my friends, my Vietnam friends, my schoolmates. And it's just one of those things that's part of life. And it's hard to grasp sometimes, but it happens. And when I came back from Vietnam in 1969, it took me a long time to get back to Oklahoma. I didn't want to come home in the condition I was in. And finally, when I got back here, I started asking people about these people, this person, that person. And I had an old Osage Indian tell me, he said, what you're going to have to do, son, is go out to the cemetery and see who's there.
Pow out.